But let me talk a little bit about relationship as potent medicine. Potent medicine for what? Potent medicine for returning us to the wholeness of love. Returning us to the wholeness of love. Not fulfilling the fantasy of romantic love, the perfect relationship, but returning us to the wholeness of love that is our true nature. And the medicine is that relationship invites us to get right up close and intimate with everything that is unilluminated in us. In other words, unconscious in us. That's why we experience things like triggers. Yeah, it's not that there's something wrong when triggers arise. There's actually something very right if we meet those trigger points in the right way, and I'll speak about that in a minute. Let me just say that very often and not always, it goes both ways, but one side of the sort of polarity is that often when there's been a spiritual realization, an awakening to true nature, or especially when there's been a non-dual perspective, very often the intimacy of relationship is avoided. And I think I spoke last week a little bit about the necessity of falling in love with yourself, not yourself as a personality, as a personhood, but falling into the deepest in you, into your aloneness, yeah? Coming face to face with the abyss, the existential abyss of aloneness as a doorway into all oneness, into your own the wholeness of your own nature. And when we come into relationship without having touched that in any way, or there's a fear of that, and we look for relationship to fulfill that seeming abyss of aloneness, of incompleteness, then the myth of the special relationship, the fantasy of completion through another, really plays itself out, and that can be very much an impediment to the deeper dimension of relationship. At the same time, that can be the understanding that meeting our own aloneness and finding fulfillment in that is primary. The understanding of that can be an avoidance tactic for spiritual seekers, or for those who've had spiritual realization of some kind on some level, either temporary or more permanent. Then relationship can very often be avoided because it's in the intimacy, the furnace of intimacy, that a deeper embodiment of that awakened realization, that awakened perspective, can really take place. That's the embodiment, is as it filters from mind. And we can say that awakening is a realization of mind. I don't mean intellect, but I mean mind wakes up to a non-dual perception, a non-dual awareness. So it wakes up out of the myopia of ego self, the knot of self-identity. But that's really a mind realization. In order for that mind realization to be fully embodied, to be fully lived, so that the wholeness of you as as your essential nature of wholeness, of openness, of love, in order for that to be fully embodied and expressed and lived and breathed, it has to filter down, yeah, into the heart. And the heart is the tender place that's very often avoided in on the spiritual path, yeah, as if it's a distraction or an impediment or just not necessary. But as awakened consciousness filters into the heart, that's where those little areas of armoring, yeah, of armoring come up to be seen, come up to be purified. It's like a purification process. Now, this happens whether we're on a spiritual path or not. Yes, I'm just relating it to that because really that's what we're talking about, the deeper dimension. But whether there is spiritual seeking or not, or spiritual realization or not, that's what relationship does. It brings up all the armoring of the heart, all the places where we protect ourselves, all the places where we avoid being hurt, or where we have avoided being hurt or have been hurt and therefore put layers of protection. And so then in relationship, the places where we feel vulnerable get triggered. And that's exactly the place where we either go to war, yeah, we go to war with the other, we go to war with our feelings, we go to war with ourselves, yeah, by fighting, by defending, by attacking, by blaming, by judging, or by shutting down, by retracting, by numbing out, by bullying, and so on and so on. That's war, yeah. What we're creating is a war within ourselves. We're creating an inner division, yeah, a divided state in which I shut down. In this, yes, there's a tight fist in this, which strengthens the ego self. It strengthens the separate self. And I soften and I open when things are going my way, or I get the love that I need, or you agree with me, or you approve of me, and so on, or I feel loved. Yeah, so love becomes, or relationship, love becomes a divided state. Yeah. And so we either go to war or we create peace. That's the choice right there in relationship. And that's the war or peace that we create in relationship, in ourselves, and in the world. Yeah, so that's why relationship is such potent medicine, because it's not just about fixing the relationship or having a happy relationship or having a perfect relationship. It's about who we are in the world. Yeah, because if the potency of relationship is that it can offer us the opportunity over and over and over again in the minutiae of the everyday interactions, in the mundane, yeah, not in the spiritual cave, not on the meditation cushion, in the everyday interactions. It offers us the opportunity to purify the armoring of the heart, to reveal to us where we go to war and where we're willing to be at peace, and offers us the opportunity to be at peace, to create peace, always, whether we're triggered or not.